Hello. So it says we're live. Still getting used to starting this out. I thought I'd go live on through YouTube. I got my snowshoes on, so that's what the noise is. I was watching somebody on StreamYard last night, and I don't know if it's new or if the guy had settings set up differently, but there were 3 StreamYard labels on his screen. So I was thinking, if that's real, I haven't tested it out. If that's what they changed to, it's too many labels. Hi, Kyle. So I was thinking I was just gonna walk around the yard, but then I changed my mind, just because I've already plugged my tractor in. Hi, Emily. And sorry if I miss. I got the sun in my eyes, and YouTube chat is not as good as StreamYard. But I guess I'll find out tomorrow night if I'm going to have all those labels on my screen as well. But it was kind of odd because this guy had a couple of guests on, and it was covering his head. The label was so big. And it was like labels in 3 out of the 4 corners. Ooh, and I just missed someone there. Hi, Beth and Neil and Rich. I'm just gonna have to get used to pulling back the chat. So yeah, not gonna be the same for a while because all my dogs are put away. Hi, Driving London. I don't want them getting in trouble. I actually have 1 coonhound loose right now, and I've got Bo out here with me. So, hi, Jovita. So I thought I'd take you up this way today. If you guys watched my latest video that I put out, I actually had Jack hooked up. Thank you, Kyle. This direction was not where my camera was pointed, so I didn't get any of it on film. And I did film a bit of where he ended up standing, but I thought, what was the point of adding that to the end of my video? So I left that part out, and I just showed the unloading, the hooking up, and Jack was really good at that. He just stood there. He didn't make a fuss about it at all, but he also didn't want to work, as in he didn't want to pull the sleigh. Hi, Reek. And for some of you, I don't know if I can add moderators, because I know I like to add everybody, so if you want to make a connection, you can go ahead and do it. You don't have to ask for dropping links. But you be patient with me, because I don't know if I'll catch everybody that isn't. But especially right now, I'm walking in a south direction and the sun is right in my eyes. But eventually I'll turn and I'll be able to see better. But I think I mentioned already, I plugged in my tractor. You can see that is the second last bale they had. There's pretty much nothing on the ground. And through the tree beyond there, they've eaten more than half of the bale. Beth, he did, and the direction I'm walking, you're gonna see that I'm gonna show you where he pulled the sled to, because that's where it is. I got a bit of a cough too. Not sick. It isn't cold, actually, Michael. It is... Oh, where did that comment go? It's sitting around 0 degrees Celsius or so. But, so this road is cleared. Like, a horse can't pull a sleigh like that out in an open field that is drifted up. And so Jack isn't trained for harness. The only thing he's ever done is pulled me on a pallet So it's kind of like attaching a toboggan to the back of your horse, and he'll pull you up and down the road. And that was, my daughter was young yet. That could have been like 4 years, or not 4. If he's 14, that could have been like 10 years ago that I had him hooked up on harness. Because what happened, hi Ralph. What happened is I put the collar that he wore in the barn, and I left the barn open, and he stuck his head into the barn, took it off the wall, and he chewed it because it wasn't a leather collar, it was a fabric collar, and it was stuffed with hay and straw, and he ripped it to shreds, and all I had was a little piece of fabric after. So I never had a collar for years. 2 years ago I finally bought one, and this is the first time he's been hooked up in forever. Well, this sleigh is very different than pulling a pallet behind you. And I was also good that he's such a quiet horse, because when I pulled the pallet, there was no shaft on it. So if we were still moving, we could move right into his legs. But thankfully we didn't. We never had an accident with him on there. Just trying to catch up to everybody coming in. I'm not sure how to say it. Is it Emart TV? Thank you for coming in, Emart TV. So I think my problem is now, it wasn't clearly shown on the video, is that I was hooking up the sleigh with rope because I don't have the greatest harness, and I don't think that harness fits him very good. So here is where the sleigh is, and I'm going to turn around here. Down this lane at the end of these trees is where my yard is. So that's how far he went. So I'd say several hundred feet. Yes, Ralph, it is. So he came here, right where that, I don't know, do you call it a seed drill? Where that piece of machinery is. He ran right up to there, and I stopped him because past that, there's deep snow, and he would have hung up the sleigh, and I wouldn't have been able to get it out of there. So he stood there, and I can't turn him because he's not trained to harness. And he stood there for a long time. So I went to the house and I took a break and tried to think, what am I going to do? So I came back with a lead rope, and I kind of picked up the sleigh and tried to turn it a bit. And so then he moved to these bales, and he just kept turning slowly. And you can see the tracks breaking through the snow there. Eventually, I walked away from him, and as I was walking back to the yard, he moved the sleigh to this position. But the problem with this is, he went to go see his buddies on the other side of the fence. These trees are in the way. I cannot get the sleigh, like if he's hitched up to this sleigh the way it is, I can't get him to weave into these trees without hooking up the sleigh on it. Hi, David. So I figured the best thing to do and not have a catastrophe was to unhook him. I walked him back to the yard, and he was fine. And so then I figured I'm going to come by later with the tractor because I have to feed them, and I'm just going to pull this backwards out of my way so I can get through this fence to feed them. And I'm going to try again some other time. But hi, Nora. Hi, Scott. It's too much work to do today to try and get him hooked up and to work with him, because I need to do the feeding of the bales. I have to get those. That's the most important part, because if I don't feed him today, I work every day, Monday to Friday, and by the time I get home, it's dark. I don't like driving the tractor in the dark. So today is a chore day. I cannot play around with the sleigh today. But oh, I got people from Spain in. Hello. I know I'm missing people, but thank you for coming. Because I'm trying to tell my story, trying to watch where I'm walking. I got my snowshoes on. This is definitely nice and crispy here. Hello, Jonathan. Driving London. I don't know if I made you a mod. You guys feel free to connect. It says 19 in the house. Wow. It's going to be much easier to see once I turn this corner. So yeah, there you can see he sat there for a while. And then he went to this spot for a while. And then he just turned around and parked the sleigh right there. So it actually, well, you guys didn't see it, but it was a pretty good event for the first time being hooked up to a harness. I mean, he didn't freak out. It was hard for him to get it moving. He had to dig into the ground to actually get the sleigh rolling. The Down Under Cruises. I see you come in. Hi, Paranormal. Hi, Joy. I'm just trying to get everyone here. Blue. Sweet Kelly, that horse that I had hooked up is the one that I can ride. He's the only one that's trained. I have 2 horses that are his age that I've only trained to halter. And I thought it would be nice to train them to harness, but I have to wait till all the snow is gone so I can use my round pen just to have them in a safe place. The only thing I can do is take them in the barn and get a halter on them. Down Under Cruises. Did I get you yet? There you go. Hopefully I've caught everyone so far. But I also have those 3 young ones. One is a mare. And my goal is by 2 years old that I would train her and sell her as just a started under saddle. And the other 2, I want them to be my replacement because Jack is getting up in age. Yeah, you know, the only person that's ever trained Jack is myself. And I put about 1 month of training into him, but he's a different kind of horse. He's got a good temperament. Yes, Emar, I do. And the thing about this walk, it's not as much fun as when I had all my dogs out, but my dogs are not being nice lately, so they're in the doghouse. What was I saying about training horses? Oh, I did have a horse that was more high-spirited, and I sent him away for training. And I paid $500 a month for that training, and he was there for 2 months. So I sunk $1,000 into this horse, and the guy used spurs on him. And that's not something that I really care for. Well, every time this horse heard a jingle, he freaked out. And what happened is when I got him home, I had Jack out that day and I had this other horse. And I just rode them in the round pen and they responded great. And because I had 2 horses, I was leading them back. And I had put the bridle on the horn of the other horse. Well, a tree branch brushed up against the bridle and it made a jingling sound just like spurs. And the horse went crazy. He went into a full-out buck. And because I was leading 2 horses, I just thought, I gotta let go. And I let them go. And that horse bucked. I was going right through my yard. He bucked behind some trees. I couldn't see him. But I just heard the fence screech. And my first thought was, oh no, there goes my saddle. But it was worse than that. What happened is he bucked into the barbed wire and he must have flipped because the barbed wire was all off of the fence and he snapped his leg. So it was a pretty traumatic experience. My kids were really young. I had to call the vet and there was nothing that we could do except put him down because it was like a clean snap on his leg. And once the vet came, which was several hours later, and I was standing with the horse the whole time, she said, "Are you ready?" And she gave him the needle, and I have never bawled. It was like this primal scream came out of me. That was my first registered horse, and he was my biggest baby. I loved that horse. So after that, I got the tractor out and I built a shallow grave, and he is not far out of my yard. I don't know if I would even say 500 feet he's buried from the house. So yeah, I get attached to my animals. I don't know, I think it's, for me, the worst. Like, you lose dogs, and I love my dogs, but it feels worse when you lose a horse. So it's much easier walking with the snowshoes now because I've already made an impression. I just read that comment about delivering horses. Again, this is when my kids were younger. One of my mares, it's at my dad's right now, but it was her first time foaling, and she came up to the barn, and my daughter was there, and her statement was, "This is the best day of my life," because that was the first time she ever saw a foal being born. So it's pretty cool. But I guess things happen for a reason. My dogs got in trouble with the neighbors. I don't let them out on the loose anymore because I guess they're kind of going over there. So my goal is this summer that the fence is getting built. I've already talked to, what do you call those people? Surveyor. I've already made contact. I let him know that come spring I want my land surveyed. And I'm going to start on the north side fencing because that's the direction my neighbor is in. Yes, my dogs got in trouble, but there's a history there. Kind of the reason why I got my dogs. Well, I started with one. I didn't plan on having this many, but I used to have coyotes come right up behind the barn. I don't know if you could see that shed on the hill over there. I've shown it in different directions, but maybe it's a different crowd today. But that's where I used to keep my goats. And one goat had twins, and one of them went missing. And I used to, if you know where my barn is and the chicken coop, I used to come out of my chicken coop and their dog would be standing right there. And it is a big husky. He is a known killer. So instead of having to take care of things with a gun, I got some dogs, and they keep everything out of my yard now. So now I just got to make sure that they stay in my yard, and I'll be putting that perimeter fence up this spring, summer. The best thing in the world is being able to walk with my dogs and walk freely on the land. So there's the one that's out. That's the mom of all the dogs. You can hear, I don't know if you can hear, the ones in the kennel are calling because they want to come too. Hi, Jeremy. Did I miss what Jonathan said? The horrible, yes. Yes, well, you know, this is the only loss that I have gone through is my animals. So That's the only experience I have. And that's, I don't know, I'm just rambling now. So much easier to walk now that the path is here. The snow is getting, I don't know, what do you call it, stiffer. It's not white fluffy snow anymore. The other thing too is I always had the plan to get perimeter fencing up. And this summer, I was going to start getting it done because I wanted to bring home my stud and my mares. I have 4 mares to bring home. And the reason they're at my dad's is they started out here, but I've gone through drought a couple years, and because most of my land is sand, the grass just didn't hold up. I don't have everything for pasture right now. It's not fenced in. And I wasn't able to, with raising 2 kids, I wasn't able to afford the hay that I needed to buy. But now that the kids are grown up and away, I can afford to get the hay I need. And I can afford to put up the fencing I need. So the whole ravine area that I go through, that's got a lot of grass in that area. All that can be fenced for horse pasture. Lots of work to do come spring. I have to cut all these little trees down. Most of them are poplars. But I want my path back. This is a road that I could drive on. And the dog's got something in the tree. Probably another squirrel. In a few minutes, are they starting early, Neil? Empty usually starts at 2. Buy a what? Buy a tank. Hi, Jamie. I'm doing good. I need to talk to you someday about how you contain your dogs. Neil, let me know. Did MT say they're starting earlier today? Thank you, Amor. We'll stop and see if we can see what they got in the tree. Oh, okay. Thank you, Neil. I always know MT to start at 2 because I'm usually, well, I'm always done by 2. What you guys got there? Oh, and yesterday twice, the wind blew over my gimbal. Found it in the snowbank, so I'm lucky that... Oh. I'm lucky that nothing happened to my camera. But eventually, I had to film the last portion of my sleigh video with the phone just propped up on the back of my truck because the gimbal died. Well, it must not have been a big deal because they're gone from here. The trees look much prettier when they have all the frost on them, but it's warmed up. I was looking next week. We're supposed to be at 0 or a little bit above. And they got so many tracks across my hayfield here. Thank you, Brian. But I think we're just gonna stick to the track that I made. Easy walking. One of these weekends, I'm going to take that calf sled with some tools, I don't have a chainsaw. So it's gonna be a handsaw, maybe a small can of diesel. How much snow is on the ground? I would say this area is about 1.5 feet. If there's any more than that anywhere, it's because it drifted up. But you get that much snow, and then on a warm day, it goes down as well. But I would not want to be walking out here in only my boots, because I'd be sinking through the whole time. It'd be so much fun to be able to run as fast as the dogs, because they're all the way on the edge of the ravine there. Jesse's at the bottom of it. But summertime, I plan on keep on doing my Sunday lives because I really enjoy this. The Monday lives, I'm probably going to start dying off on those ones. Right now, I'm kind of doing them for my watch hours, but I don't really have topics other than we sit around and talk. Oh, Jamie, you're getting rain. So, I don't know, my Monday just doesn't make sense to me, but the one thing I will do, I'm going to still keep doing them until I get my watch hours. I can't do it immediately, but I said I was going to do horse races when I got to 1K, and I got to 1K. So, Emar, my evening live is on Monday at 8 Central Time, so I'm not sure what time that is for you. But my Sunday lives are always at 12:30. Back then, well, I had less subscribers then, but I did a vote, and oh, yeah, I love that game, Ralph. I did a vote, and most of them agreed with, I think I gave like 11, 11:30, 12:30. They wanted the later time. And the only reason I'm trying to fit it in there is because I enjoy going to MT Homestead. And it also gives me the rest of the afternoon to do chores if I need to. Just that by 4:30, 5 o'clock, I've got no more daylight. So I'm really limited on what I can do. But what was I doing? Oh, well, I spent the whole day with Jack in the sleigh yesterday. Truly, I should have put that off and did my chores of feeding the hay. And then I could have fooled around with the sleigh. But I was too eager to see what I could get done. And you always want more, right? I wanted the romantic, oh, we're dashing through the field. And it still was a success what I got done yesterday, because I didn't give him a bad experience. I gave him work to do, which he didn't like. And Jack is the biggest baby too. He will sit there and grunt that I'm overworking him. And it's just funny. He wasn't in pain. He wasn't tortured. He's like that. And then as soon as you unhook him, he's fine. I walked up to him today. He came right up to me looking for food. That's him. Bring him food and he's happy. Make him work and he starts moaning and groaning like a little kid. But he's a good horse. He's the one that actually gave me confidence to be able to work with horses. As a kid, I've only ever, what was it? I don't even remember the age, but every year I would wish for a pony on my birthday. And one year my dad decided he was going to get, I don't know, maybe I was around 10 years old. I can't remember exactly. But at that sale, he bought 2 horses, one for me and maybe one for my sister, but she never took to that horse. And that horse was a barrel racing horse. So all I had to do, once I graduated from my pony to that second horse, all I had to do was sit on that horse. And she took me around the barrels. So she taught me how to ride. Although as an adult I learned much more. But that was my only experience with riding horses. I had one that was already trained. And so Jack has taught me a lot. And he's been patient with me. There's times where I was training him and the saddle came right down his side and he just sat there and looked at me like, what are you doing? So most horses will not be like that. I think Bo loves his jacket. He's pretty proud when I say, Bo, let's go for a walk. And he just stands there waiting for his jacket to go on. Hi, self-care. So yeah, it would be nice to go down through there, but not today. Maybe next weekend I can get that calf sled going and go directly down there. Make a big bonfire. Do my live until the time runs out, just watching the fire. I am in Manitoba, Canada, which is pretty much the center of Canada. And you guys will see from my regulars that come here, you're going to see a lot of new people because I was going crazy connecting with tons of people. So hopefully I didn't miss any adding the blue. But yeah, it's, I know people say, oh, you connect and then people never come back, but I have been visiting these people. I have been trying to pick up some words. I think it's interesting. The other day, well, it was yesterday, that was Ukrainian Christmas, and I grew up in a Ukrainian family. So I don't know how I ended up there, but I found somebody from the Ukraine, and thankfully there was someone who spoke English in there, and I made a bunch of connections. It was pretty neat. I love meeting new people that way. Hi, Jonesy. I'm about halfway through my walk here. I think you may have already seen the comment that you said I would have just led Jack around. I tried that. He was like a donkey. I wasn't pulling on his bit or anything like that. Oh, Bo's riding on my snowshoes right now. Oh, what was that comment? Sorry. That's okay, Emar. Oh, no, he's already. How do I get out of here? Oops. What was I saying? Oh, so when I put the lead rope on Jack, he's never had a problem leading, but he just didn't want to move. And he stuck out his neck just like a mule would. And it wasn't until I unhitched the wagon for the sleigh that he actually started walking. I can hear snowmobiles in the distance. So I don't know if you noticed, because my filming was pretty poor, I have a new collar for Jack, and the metal that ties around it, are they called Hanes? I bought a new pair that fit the collar properly, because the harness I got is pretty much, I don't know, like a 50-year-old harness. It's just a working harness, and it doesn't really fit the new collar good. And I talked to the lady that I bought it from, because she runs a tack store, and to get a harness made, she said it would cost about $1,000. So I may do that one day, but there's so many other things that I need to do first before I get that. And I'm wondering too if I should dig out that pallet and just get him back to pulling that, so he gets used to turning in directions. But it's a very different deal to turn with a big sleigh behind you compared to just a pallet. Hi, just chilling. There's snowshoeing again today, chilling. It's a really nice day too. Start small. Are you referring to the harness? Oh yeah. Well, that's the thing. He hasn't pulled anything for about 10 years. So, no, I remember we'd go zipping up and down the lane. We even went on the main road. And I don't know what the difference was, that we could turn him and he would just go. He went everywhere I asked him to. But when you're hooked up to this rigid metal bar that has a bigger sleigh behind it and you haven't worked in years, he was like a little kid throwing a tantrum thinking, I don't want to work. So he did good when we went down that tree lane there. But I remember when I trained him for saddle, so you work up to it, right? You put the saddle on one day and you get him walking around with it. And then the first time, hi AAP, the first time I sat on him, all I did was squeeze my legs around his belly. And we sat there and sat there. I don't even know how long the time went up, but as soon as he took one step, I let go of him, and that was it. That was done, the lesson for that day. And when I came back the next day and worked with him, he knew what squeezing his belly meant. And then he would start going in the circle. So it's like these little positive steps, and you quit them, and then the next day, it's 2 or 3 steps. Thanks for coming in, AAP. I don't know what is on the ground here other than maybe some kind of birds, but the snow is all, I don't know, what do you call this? These aren't footsteps. Like the birds have been hopping all over the place here. So yeah, and I got to think about how I'm going to make this safer to get to, because it's not just one good horse that I'm going to be training. I'm going to have a variety of them. And I want to be able to, that's quite a ways. I don't even know what I was thinking when I built the round pen out here, other than this was a big wide open space. Oh, look at this. I've got trespassers on my property. Nobody asked permission, but yet they just go. Like, unbelievable. So now I'm gonna have a confrontation. And you know, they're sitting there in the middle of my property and they won't move closer to me. And they're gonna make me walk up to them. I don't know how you got on here because this is private land. The best way is to go back where you came from and go back to the main road. There's no exit here. And I've never ever given anyone permission to be on my land. Well, isn't that nice? This is the problem. This is why I don't like snowmobilers. They think they can go and do whatever they want and go wherever they want. I don't know who these people are. Yeah, sure, Jonesy, but let them go buy their own piece of land to go. Like, I've got neighbors complaining that my dogs go on their land, so it's okay. Everybody come on my land. So now I got these nasty tracks on my land too. Oh well. I'm a cranky old lady. Stay off my land. So then you know what this does too? They've just created a path. This is gonna harden and my dogs are gonna be able to travel down that path easily. Because the deer are gonna start using it. Yes, I really need a fence, Jonesy. I don't know. Here's what I feel. Every time I step off my land, that's when conflict begins. I have a place that is big enough for me for everything that I want and need. I just have to contain it. But for the record, I'm going to state, my dogs were taught to leave the property because when I had the father of all these puppies die, I was out on the north side of my property within this bush here, but it's on the other side. That's where I bury my dogs. And I had all 6 puppies sitting around watching me dig. And yeah, I already have that just chilling. I don't have the fence, I have the other thing. Anyway, I'm digging this grave for my dog and the puppies are all sitting around and who comes over? The neighbor's dogs. And these guys don't respect the property. They all come on it and do whatever they want. And because I'm doing these Sunday walks now, this is the first year that I've done it, but I've had snowmobilers go through here all the time. And the thing is, if you're gonna come, that's probably a lie. And I'm getting fired up here. To sit here and ask me, what's the best way to get out of here? If you don't know where you're going, why are you going that way? They know that they can cut across. They would have a hard time finding the opening, but they know that they could scoot across. The crossbow's quiet. Well, Ralph, I want to live to enjoy my property. Somebody just commented, I don't know if Michael's Adventures is still here, because I could see my alerts are popping up from YouTube Studio, how much watch hours I need. I'm only at, I think, 1750 right now, so I still need to gain 2,000. Yes, so I just saw your comment popped up for me. So just over 2,000 I'm looking for. But yeah, I know handicap, that's the thing, what do you do? And this is why I have my dogs. They protect me from the wildlife, the coyotes, the neighbor's dogs from coming over. Like, I don't know, you guys are feeding your chickens and you come out of the chicken coop and then you see this 100+ pound husky dog outside. And I know for a fact that he's been a killer because last year he killed 2 deer and they called me to come pick up the deer for my dogs. So don't tell me that your dog does not kill things. And I'm putting this out for the public now, although they don't know I do YouTube. But it's no matter what in life, you're always wrong and everybody else is right. Yeah, see, that's Canada though. Nobody's scared because nobody's gonna do anything about it. Thank you for coming in Down Under Cruises. Gosh. You know what I could do is go to the end of my property where they have the snowmobile track and just put up a no trespassing sign for now. Doesn't mean a thing, but at least they know I'm aware that they're trying to come across. Because honestly, it's only been a week since the conflict with my dogs. And it's been good. I've only let one out at a time. But I have at least 120 days to go before I could do any digging of any sort. And never mind buying the fencing, I have to pay the surveyor first. But I thought, because it's going to cost me $10,000 to fence my property completely, no, Ralph, I'm going to need something different because I need to keep my dogs inside, so I'm going to have to get like a woven wire fence. But I thought piece by piece, I'm going to start on the north side and maybe I can get the north side done this summer. And that'll actually give me the freedom because my dogs are not going to run half a mile to come half a mile back just to go bug the neighbor. And the other thing too is it's an open field. It's in this direction past this bush, but it's an open field over there and you can see right into my neighbor's yard. So the dogs don't know they're doing something wrong. It'll be so much easier to say, hey, you can't do that anymore. But the point that I'm standing here, I remember there was one year before I had any coonhounds of any kind. My cats would go missing. I had about 20 barn cats. And no, hedgerows aren't going to work. I need something more for my dogs. But anyway, the point right where I'm standing here, the coyotes were coming up through here. Because my son and I came out to try and take care of them, but we had a bad shot. And all we did was spook them and they ran away. So did I sound nasty to those guys? What happened? Everyone went quiet? No, thank you, let's trade paint. I don't want to be nasty, but every time you get that heartbeat going, and you can hear it when you're breathing. Yeah, Jamie, that's why I want to ask you how you contain your dogs. So I can hear them, but they're already on the other property. And I could see them, they're going up the trees there, but that's not my land already. But I mean, I don't understand why they gotta go so close to the tree line. Well, I was on camera handicap. I may have been a little bit nastier if the camera wasn't rolling, but I also like the fact that the camera was rolling and I do have their faces on film. Tracking collars, Jamie? Jamie, would it be too much to ask you to send me an email? Because I know I was watching your videos, and does that mean yes, it's too much? I was watching your videos and I know you have much nicer kennels than I have, and that your dogs are separated. Yes, handicap. So if I wasn't on camera, I probably would have been cursing, but what was I going to say about... Oh, the other thing is too, thank you, Jamie. I'm looking for any kind of help that... Hi, Frank. Like I said, I can't put up fences for another at least 3 months. So I need to do whatever I can up until that point. And right now, I have 6 dogs in the house, and only one can go outside to go to the bathroom at a time. I will let Bo out with anybody because he is pretty good, although ever since the snowmobilers came, I lost my 2 dogs. They were with me up until that point. And then I have 3 in the kennel. And they will stay there. After I get off this live, I will switch out the dogs in my house with the ones in the kennel, and I've been leading them on a leash straight back to my house. I don't know, like I know the term tracking collar, but I don't know what is involved with those. I don't even know where I would go to buy. Yeah, Jonesy, I wouldn't on camera. Hi, Rebecca. Let's see. There you go. Oh, sometimes when I talk on these lives, I don't know if I even make sense. So this is what I'm talking about. I'd come out of this door and their dog would be right here. And it's not like this is on the edge of my property. This is in the middle of my property. So, but it's okay for them because it was in the past and it doesn't matter anymore. People only think about the present. Anyway, I guess my point is I'm gonna do whatever I have to. Oh, sorry, you guys went for a ride there. I'm taking off my snowshoes right now. I will be doing whatever I have to do to make sure that they stay safe. Like these dogs right now, oh, there's the mom. She's already back home. She's 6 years old and the puppies are 4 years old. So it's not like they're gonna live forever. And then I was thinking about that. Okay, so let's say that they live a grand old life, which, 9 dogs are not gonna be 14 when they die. In 8 years, what am I gonna do to protect myself? So maybe if this fence is up, I'll have a little bit of protection. Maybe it'll prevent the coyotes, like they could still dig underneath. But maybe I'll have less trying to dig underneath. And when I moved in here, sorry if you guys got the sky there. Just walking through the edge here. Just show you. So this is my barn that needs new siding. This was just a shell of a garage and I put 2 box stalls in there. And then I had to make this chicken run here and I actually had to dig it into the ground because I'd buy ducks and they'd be pulled through the chicken wire. And it's not because I had dogs, it's because just past this chicken run in the bush, there was a fox den. And I know that my dogs the dogs that I had at the time, they would chase after the fox. The fox would turn around and come. I remember standing at the barn, and then if you can see where the fence ends there, the fox would run out of there. So the fox would get my dogs running in circles. But I haven't seen a lot of fox lately. I know that my dogs have brought home some babies, as in, I was cutting grass one time and I thought, what is that, an orange cat? And I drove up to it and it was actually a baby that it had taken care of. But look at Bo, he's cold, he wants to go in. Why are you sitting on that side of the fence, Bo? Yeah, Rebecca, I do that because, well, first off, I hadn't run into any trouble, but I like the fact that people can connect to each other without having to ask for stuff, and the conversation can keep flowing. You guys can say hi to each other. So, but you can see they finally ate that bale down, and I need to drop them a new one today. And how come I don't see, oh, the donkey and the white horse are together. Vicious farmer's dogs that need a muzzle. Yeah, you know, for a stranger to see my dogs, they would think that they are vicious. I own them, so they're not vicious to me. But when it comes to wildlife, I want them to be vicious. I don't want them to be taken over by the coyotes or, well, a fox wouldn't get them because they're twice the size. Coyotes would, though. But I just have to, I don't know, be patient like I was with Jack. But, you know, every year you think, hi, Cole. Yeah, I need to do this. I need to put up a fence, but something else. Yes, Jamie, they definitely take care of the wildlife. Like in the past couple of years, I had my furnace go down, and then my well pump went down. So you're throwing money at that kind of stuff. Well, this is the year that I have to put up the fence. And the reminder of dragging the dogs to the house is going to be what motivates me to put every penny into it. And I know I'm going to do that sticker giveaway because I said I was going to do it, but I won't be doing a lot of YouTube. Like, I send super chats, I have memberships. I'm going to be canceling all of those because I'm going to be penny pinching until my place is taken care of, because that's the most important thing to do right now. So, yes, Jamie, you're the one who emailed me, did you not? I haven't gotten my stickers yet, so I think I was trying to say that earlier, and I don't know if I got it out. I do want to do that sticker giveaway. I am at 1K now, but I'm going to have to wait because I need to find someone and make the stickers for me. And just the other day, we were looking up in different places that you could get in Canada. You could even go to the store Staples and they would do it. But that's a small expense if I can get 50 stickers for $50, because that would be plenty for the amount of people that show up in my live. See, Sticker Mill is tricky because they say, oh yeah, you can get 50 stickers for $20. And then I went to their website and it was 1-inch stickers. And I'm thinking, well, I don't want 1-inch stickers. So I upgraded to 3-inch. And Emar, they are young. They are only about 6 months old now. That's how they get you. They advertise a good deal, but it's on the tiniest. So when you want to upgrade, then they put the real price on. Brenda, you're in the States, though. I don't think I could get that in Canada. But if I could get 50 for 50, I could do that. I'll have to look into it. You know, I could have done my homework and had it ready for ahead of time, but I didn't. So, oh, hey, Des. I don't know how come I missed some of you guys in the past because you've been to my regular lives, but when I get to chatting, I start forgetting to add people up. Zazzle, I've never heard of them before. What did he say here? Yeah, I'll have to look into Canada. Well, it'll happen soon for that. But yeah, what am I at? I'm at 61 minutes. I think I'm going to end in half an hour. Empty Homestead will be on there live. I always like going there. Get you guys a couple minutes of my donkey here. I think she probably needs a hoof trim already. Hey, Christy. Hey. She's cute. I wonder if I hooked her up to the sleigh, if it would have been easier to get her to move forward. I can't do anything with this girl. She'll follow me for food, but you try to get her to work for you, forget it. So, yes, Jamie, please send me that email. If you could just tell me everything that you do to take care of your dogs, and then I can make a decision from there. If it's not difficult, right? Well, I shouldn't say that. I put myself in this situation, and it is not the easiest thing to manage 9 dogs with only 1 going out. So it was easier to let 2 or 3 out. They would run around, come back to the house because it's cold, it's winter. And if I could find a better way to do things, that's why I'm asking you, because I know you have the same dogs. So, but at least once you, actually, I do have your email because you requested the sticker and I said I didn't have any. That's you, right? Cable runners. What are cable runners? You can make them as long as you like and put as many as you need. Is that kind of like you would have, I'm going to use the wrong term, but it looks like a clothesline and then you put the dog on a cable running back and forth? That would be nuts. That I don't think that would be any cheaper than, like, how would you do that in the middle of winter too? What kind of pole is that cable running from? I don't know. But anyway, it's an idea. I'd have to look into it. So, well, I think this is, yeah, trees. Oh no. And a beagle is what? Maybe half the size of mine? Pins in the ground is no good. My dogs would rip them out. My dogs are pretty tough. The father, he's not here anymore because he passed away. I remember when I brought him home, we also had a rescue dog because we wanted to do that. We went to the pound and we got a good-looking dog. And when they were first introduced, they got into a fight. And I'm a big girl. I am not small. And all I could do to separate the dogs was to jump on top of the coonhound because I thought pin him to the ground like a wrestler because I thought I was heavy enough to hold him down. Forget it. That dog threw me off of him. But at least I separated the fight. But I was pretty shocked that the way he moved was just like a wrestler throwing another guy off of him. Yes, Jamie and I love the dogs because they are smart. So, all right, I'm at 65 minutes. I have Center Christie on the picture here. Maybe I'll zoom in and that'll be my thumbnail at the end. So, thank you everyone for coming in. Yeah, you can see she needs trimming on her hooves. She's walking daintily. So, thank you for everyone for coming in. And T-Rep just popped in here. It was a different kind of walk there. Thank you for being my witnesses too to the trespassers. So maybe we'll see you guys tomorrow night on Monday Magging. I don't really have a topic for tomorrow night. It'll just be a chit chat for watch hours. So, oh! I don't know what my gimbal just did. Sorry for that, made you dizzy. So, again, thank you everybody. And if I don't see you tomorrow night on Monday Magging, I will see you around in somebody else's live. Or maybe we'll see you at MT Homestead in now, what is it, 24 minutes. There we go. She's so cute. Oh, I got my shadow on her. That won't make a good picture. All right, now I forget how to end my live all the time. Is it the X in the corner? Thank you guys. See you next time.